thinking about moving to Canada in 2025, well, let me break down exactly how much you need, from visa fees to flights and even your first month's expenses. This video has all the details to help you plan your big move. Let's get started. If you have been someone who has been following my channel for some time, you know that this is one of my very popular videos and people have been asking for a 2025 update. Yes, it's due for an update, so this is it. If you're planning to come to Canada in 2025 and you're planning to come through the express entry, in this video I will highlight all the expense lines and give you an estimate of the amounts in Naira. I'll also talk about coming to Canada for study. I'll give estimates of the expense lines and how much it comes to in Naira. So make sure you watch this video till the end. First, you need to pay the Canadian immigration application fees. If you're applying through the express entry, here is what you'll be paying. For the permanent residency fees, the principal applicant would pay 1,525 Canadian dollars, which comes to about 1.6 million in Nigerian Naira. If you want to convert this amount to your local currency, you can check xe.com to see your local currency and use that in doing this calculation. So principal applicant pays 1,500. So if you have a spouse, your spouse that is accompanying you to Canada would also pay the same amount, which is 1,525, and your dependent child would pay 260 Canadian dollars, which comes to around 271,000 Nigerian Naira. To apply for Canadian PR, you need to prove your English skills. Most people take the IELTS or CELPIP tests, right? And currently, IELTS general training is in Nigeria goes for around 277,000 Naira, while CELPIP goes for 220,000 Naira. The next line item would be your educational credential assessment, ECA. The most popular one is WES, and it goes for 220 Canadian dollars, which is around 230,000 Nigerian Naira. Next is medical examination. Once you receive an invitation to apply ITA, you need a medical exam by an IRCC approved doctor. You can see there are a number of clinics that are approved by IRCC in Nigeria, and for wherever country you are watching from, you can check for the IRCC approved clinics on this website. I'll put all the links in this video in the description box below, so do well to check so as to confirm. So medical exam per adults is 95,500. The next line item is police clearance certificate. You must get a police clearance certificate from every country you've lived in for 6+ months since turning 18. So if you've lived in any country and you've spent more than 6 months in that country, you're going to need to get police clearance from that country. In Nigeria currently, the police clearance goes for around 30,000, but of course, you know, it's probably going to be higher than this, so you have to be prepared to pay higher than this to get your police clearance certificate. And in Canada, for some people who are already in Canada and they need police clearance, it goes for 75 Canadian dollars. Now let's talk about proof of funds. Canada requires you to prove that you have enough money to support yourself and your family when you land in Canada. And the amount you are required to show depends on the size of your family. So if you are a single applicant and you are the only one coming to Canada, you are required to have at least 14,690 Canadian dollars, which comes to around 15.3 million Naira. And if you're a couple, you'll be required to come with at least 18,288 Canadian dollars, which is about 19.1 million Naira. And if you're a family of 3, that is you, your spouse, and a dependent child, then you'll be required to come with at least 22,483 Canadian dollars. Note that IRCC or Canada updates these amounts almost every year, you know, so as to be in line with current cost of living. So these amounts might change by April or thereabouts. So make sure you check the website to confirm the amount required for your family size. I'll also put a link in the description box below. The other things remaining are miscellaneous expenses. So apart from the official immigration fees, you also spend some money on travel, of course, accommodation, settling in, so, and even for passport. So right now in Nigeria, you can get your passport for about 70,000 Naira, and flights to Canada. I remember in one of the previous videos, someone said that I did not include flights, so I'm including it in this one now. Flights to Canada, about 1,500 Canadian dollars, a one-way flight, so around 1.5 million. Your first month's rent, average of 1,200 Canadian dollars. Transportation for the first month, you spend maybe about 100 CAD to 150 Canadian dollar. And food and grocery for 1 month, say around 300. The total amount comes to around 6 million. But of course, this does not include a proof of funds. Proof of funds is your money, so it's not like money that you'll be paying. It's your money and you're the one that will spend it, right? But if I'm including proof of fund in this thing, we'll be looking at least around 25 million to 34 million, so make sure you take notes of that. Now let's talk about students. Currently, Canada has recently changed policies concerning international students coming to Canada, and a lot has changed in the previous year. And so currently, a lot of people are, I believe, number of international students planning to come to Canada has reduced. However, if you're still coming to Canada to study, this amount would apply to you. For study permit, it's 150 Canadian dollars, and application fees, or depending on the school, is usually around $100 and $150. And right now, I have, according to Statistics Canada, average tuition fee for masters for graduate studies is around 20,000 to 21,000 Canadian dollars, which comes to around 21 million Naira. And of course, you need about $10,000 for upkeep. And aside that, you also have the initial cost, just like for the express entry, which includes passport, flights to Canada, your first month's rent, transportation, and all that. So it all comes to around 34 million. Of course, it's very expensive to come to Canada for education, right? And which is it's just very expensive, especially if you want to come with your partner. Currently, if you can only come with your partner to Canada on a study permit if you're coming for a master's degree or a PhD, so you should also put that into consideration. Moving to Canada is a big investment, but with the right planning, you can make it happen. Make sure to save early, stay updated with official fees, and be prepared for hidden costs. I'll give you some tips to save money. Apply for scholarships if you are moving here as a student. Use trusted exchange rates for currency conversion. Budget for at least 3 months of expenses after landing. Because you may not know what is waiting for you in Canada. You may be planning that you get a job on time, and what if that doesn't happen for you on time? So make sure that you plan very well. What part of the process do you find most expensive? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video and share it with everyone that you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.